call to the honourable member for Flinders.
My question is to the Prime Minister. Tomorrow it will be 1,000 days since the election of the Albanese Labor government. The Prime Minister promised Australians he would halve migration numbers. Instead, the Prime Minister is bringing 1.8 million more people into Australia over 5 years during a housing crisis with higher rents and fewer homes being built. Why won't this Prime Minister apologise to Australians for his weak leadership, bad decisions and wrong priorities?
Order. Give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. And I thank the member for her congratulations on our 1,000 days in office. The leader of the opposition,
member for Casey,
and those opposite want to present themselves somehow as a fresh new face during the campaign over coming months, no doubt, just like his predecessor Scott Morrison did. But the truth is that he was a part of it all. 1,000 days ago, tomorrow, we did inherit a fair bit. We inherited a crisis in aged care that had been summed up with one word: neglect. We have now done what those opposites said couldn't be done, which is to put a nurse back in nursing homes 99% of the time. We're paying workers properly. Our older Australians are getting the care and dignity that they deserve. All in place. Those opposites said it couldn't happen. In Veterans Affairs, we inherited a system where literally those men and women who had defended us, our nation, our democracy—
Order.
Can't be
Members
relevant.
on my right.
Can't be relevant.
Order.
Can't be relevant.
Order. Prime Minister's just going to take a break so I can hear from the manager.
Well, thanks very much, Mr Speaker. The point of order is on relevance. The question was focused on levels of migration, nothing that the Prime Minister is referring to, and the Prime Minister needs to explain why his record migration program in a housing crisis is justified.
Okay. If it was just on that topic, you would be correct. But when you phrase a question about the Prime Minister's leadership, about the priorities and asking for an apology, the Prime Minister is obviously going to take an argument as he sees fit with that part of the question. So he's directly relevant and he'll continue.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. He's new, Mr Speaker. He's new to the job. In Veterans Affairs, there were 60,000 people waiting for payments that they had earned due to their service for our country. People died waiting to get entitlements that they deserved. That's before we get through to the human impact of the robo-debt scheme. 1,000 days ago, we inherited a crisis in skills, the worst skills shortage in 50 years. We inherited inflation that was rising. We inherited wages that were falling. We inherited a crisis in health with Medicare bulk billing in freefall. We inherited a crisis in the NDIS, rorting and rip-offs, packages being cut. We inherited a fiscal crisis, $1 trillion in debt and deficits, including $78 billion being forecast in that first year, and a crisis in accountability as well. We inherited after a Prime Minister who had sworn himself into multiple portfolios, in some cases without any knowledge, including the bloke he shared a house with at the Lodge. The Treasurer didn't know that there was another Treasurer. It was just extraordinary. That was the chaos that we inherited from those opposite. No cabinet processes, just overheads. Overheads in the cabinet room. We inherited a crisis in energy, of course, an ageing grid, 4 gigs out, 1 gig in. And we inherited a crisis as well in our immigration system presided over by those opposite, a crisis exposed by 3 separate reports.